Hello everyone, welcome to the game-changing video for small businesses in the UAE. If you are a small business owner, you cannot afford to miss this. I am Bhagirath Mandal, a chartered accountant specializing in corporate and international taxation. Today, I am here to walk you through what every small business owner needs to know about a small business relief under UAE Corporate Tax law. This could be your key to cutting down your taxes, boosting your cash flows, and keeping more of your profits. So stick around because this insight could save your business thousands. So without any delay, let's get it started. First of all, what does a small business relief means? So let's understand. As corporate tax regime is new in the UAE, it might become costlier and complex for small or micro businesses to become familiar to adopt this tax system. That's why the UAE government has designed this relief specifically for small or micro business for their easy implementations, which primarily reduces the compliance obligations by this business by alleviating the need to calculate and pay the corporate tax. So now let's go to what are the criteria for electing for a small business relief. So any person who fulfill these two criteria can apply or elect for a small business relief. Number one, any taxable person who is resident taxable person. Number one is residence. So it can be either natural person or judicial person. The residency characteristics for natural person I have explained in the last video. You can go there and check it out if you have missed it. Now let's come to judicial person. So judicial person's residential status is checked by their incorporation. Suppose any company is incorporated in UAE, then it will be resident for UAE corporate tax law. Suppose another company is not incorporated in UAE, it means in India, maybe in India or foreign country. However, it is managed and controlled from UAE. In that case, this company too be residence for UAE corporate tax law. Number one, incorporation should be in UAE, or it should be, if incorporation is not in the UAE, it should be managed and controlled from the UAE. And the second condition is that revenue is below or equal to 3 million dirham in all relevant tax period and all previous tax period that ends on or before 31st December 2026. Here, all previous tax period means what happens. Suppose any company is incorporated in 2015 and now want to apply for a small business relief for tax period 2024. So from 2015 to 2024, we have to see whether this company has revenue more than 3 million or not. If the revenue is below 3 million, in that case, this company will be eligible. Otherwise, it won't be eligible. Here, one other thing to note here that on or before 31st December, why? Because UAE government has given this small business relief, which will be available till 26 December only. After that, it may be removed or it may be extended. We have to wait for the further clarification regarding this. So there are two exceptions. It means these two types of company cannot be eligible for applying for a small business relief. Number one, the member of multinational enterprises and a qualifying free zone persons. So, however, free zone person can apply if they meet the conditions. Qualifying, there is difference between qualifying free zone person and free zone person only. So free zone person can apply for a small business relief. If you want, I will make another video on qualifying free zone persons. So why shall we choose a small business relief? Is there any benefit? Yes, obviously. Number one is administrative relief. In administrative relief is that you will be able to submit simplified tax return, and you won't need to calculate and pay corporate tax. Other is that you can choose cash basis of accounting while preparation of financial statement. Everyone know there is two basis of accounting. One is accrual basis and other is cash basis. So a small the eligible person has option, either they can choose a small business relief or either they can choose cash basis of accounting or accrual basis of accounting. So this is all in administrative relief. Also, transfer pricing documentation is excluded from them for eligible taxable person. It means they don't need to keep or maintain transfer pricing documentation. So this all in administrative relief. And in tax relief is that if you are eligible and if you satisfy both this condition and if you apply for a small business relief, you need to pay zero tax. So tax relief. So you may have questions like, how can I apply for a small business relief? Wait. First of all, you need to get yourself registered for under UAE Corporate Tax law. After that, at the end of the tax period, you need to file a return. At the time of filing the return, you will get option whether to pay tax as a normal person or you want to apply for a small business relief. So if you are satisfying these characteristics criteria, in that case you can apply for a small business relief. On the approval, you will be able to enjoy a small simplified tax return. Also, one more thing to note here is that you have to choose each year. Suppose in 2025 also you want to choose, then in 2025 return you have to choose again similar to 2025. It does not like one suppose you choose for 2024, then you don't need to choose for 2025 or 2026. No, it's not like that. You have to choose each years. It means this relief election for a small business relief only valid for one tax period. Now here I have mentioned that revenue threshold of 3 million. So how can we determine that revenue? What are the component of revenue? Which income shall be part of the revenue? Let's discuss. Number one, first of all, revenue shall be determined on the basis of applicable accounting standard accepted in the UAE, which is IFRS. So here revenue is the gross amount of the income received during a tax period. In any particular tax period, all the amount, all the income received by the entity or taxable person shall be considered to calculate revenue. For example, can be income comprises all revenue generated from the business sales activities along with any additional gross revenue received including proceed of sale of assets. So suppose business sales activities, if in revenue income received from business sales activities, it is plus any sales proceed by sales of assets or dividend, these two shall be calculated or added to calculate the revenue threshold for a small business relief. Also, in non-cash receipt, suppose goods received in the term of barter transaction, these two shall be included in the revenue, but it should be at the market value. So now revenue is one thing, profit is one thing. Don't get confused here. Profit has nothing to do with eligibility criteria for a small business relief. It's all revenue that matters, that will be considered for checking whether you are eligible for a small business relief or not. Now other is impact of a small business relief on other corporate tax rule. So after electing for a small business relief, what are how other tax rule can apply to how it impact us, or how a small business relief impact on other corporate tax rule. Let's first get clear is the businesses that elect for a small business relief are excluded from applying certain other corporate tax relief and rules. You know why? Because these reliefs are relevant for calculation of the income tax and a small business relief treats eligible taxable person as having no taxable income for the relevant tax period. That's why they are excluded. They don't need to apply certain other corporate tax rules and relief. So let's understand its impact on one by one. Number one, tax losses. So tax losses, you cannot carry forward or set up or utilize the tax losses at in the period in which you elect for a small tax, a small business relief. Suppose in 2023 you have a revenue of 2 million and cost related to expenses related to such revenue is 2.5 million. In that case you have loss of 0.25 million. Now you cannot carry forward and set off against the income of 2024 with these losses because you have elected for a small business relief. Again in 2025 you did not elect for a small business relief. In that case this 0.5 million will be carried forward to year tax period 2025 and there you can set up. It means during the tax period in which you have elected for a small business relief, you cannot accrue, utilize or transfer tax losses. However, you will be able to transfer any previous tax losses in the year in which you have not elected for a small business relief. Other is general interest deduction limitation rule. In corporate tax, there is a rule that if you have interest expenses more than 12 million, in that case, you are not allowed to to take deduction for all these interest expenses. So, you, up to 12 million you are allowed. Up to 12, more than two, if you have more than 12 million, in that there is a limit which is 30% EBITDA or 12 million, whichever is higher. So this rule is not applicable here in when you apply for a small business relief. Also, interest expenses is not allowed because you don't need to calculate taxable income. Why should I give you this deduction? Other is exempt income. Exempt income are certain incomes are exempted from corporate tax. Example can be dividend. Yeah. So, but this exempt income provision is not applicable here. It means all income we will calculate while calculating the revenue, we will consider all the income, even if it would not be taxable while calculating the revenue for a small business relief. Other is deductions like corporate tax has allowed the deduction for business expenses which are related to businesses. So since a small business tax a small business relief treats taxable person as having no taxable income, they don't need to calculate taxable income. So why do we give deduction for you for business expenses? That's why these deductions are also not applicable to a small business relief. Other is tax group and a small business relief. So here tax group means three or four, more than two companies form together. If they satisfy certain conditions mentioned in the corporate tax, then they will be able to apply for to form a tax group. So since there are more than one companies, so don't get confused that this threshold limit, revenue threshold of 3 million apply to each company. No, as a whole we will see the consolidated balance. Suppose suppose three companies from the group. Now in that case, company A's turnover, companies B turnover, company C turnover total should be less than 3 million dirham. 3 million dirham. This 3 million dirham limit is not applicable to each companies. It applies to tax group as a whole consolidated balances. So this provision is also like only while calculating the revenue threshold, we have to apply as a tax group as a whole, not on each company basis. And at last, thank you. If you think this video have helped you in any way, you can please subscribe, like, and also comment in the comment section if you want to learn any topic of UAE corporate tax law. Also, please forward to them who wants to, who is a accountant or professional wants to come here, move to UAE. In that case, it will be so beneficial. I will also make one video for them how to apply, how job like that. You can forward to them. Thank you so much.